Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Half Off Fridays. Save big from local businesses across the state. Click the Half Off Fridays button at wvmetronews.com.
Well, welcome in. Get you a forecast update on a Friday, diving into a weekend. We're missing the storms today. Maybe a few isolated, very brief showers, but little to no rain today. Tomorrow, our strong cold front comes in and runs into our very warm and humid air mass we've been having all this week. So find your spot on the map. There is going to be some risks of severe thunderstorms later in the day, Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening, coming in from the west. We have a marginal to slight risk of severe weather. That means isolated to scattered severe storms are possible later tomorrow, primarily for a risk of damaging winds with storms, but some large hail and a brief tornado potential in some far northern areas of West Virginia is possible tomorrow. Your Fly CRW forecast, it starts at home. Still watching for chances of showers and storms in some locations here too, like Chicago. 90 in Atlanta, potentially record high there. Tampa, 90 today, 91 tomorrow, potentially record high there. From Panhandle to Panhandle, we're still warmer than average, likely not reaching records for today, but still well warmer than average, mid-70s to low 80s. A spot or two may approach a daily warm record low again tonight, like we did the last night or few nights in some areas. Yesterday in Martinsburg, you hit a high 92, daily record high there yesterday, today 81, so not as hot, but still well warmer than average today. 57 overnight tonight, likely dry and well warmer than average yet for those lows. Central areas, mid-70s to low 80s today. We'll watch for a risk of thunderstorms tomorrow, mid to upper 50s to some low 60s tonight with some fair skies and warm. Highs mid-70s to mid-80s in southern areas for today. Mid-50s to low 60s tonight. Charleston, 84 today, 87 tomorrow. Rain and storms likely Saturday afternoon, Saturday night. Then cooler temps for Sunday with showers likely. 59 on Monday, lows in the mid-30s. Warmer next week.
Looking for a show that talks about everything? You found it.
By the way, I'm really happy to talk about this as opposed to Ryan's opinion that being a sports fan is a bad thing.
He said that it kept him from being stressed about it, not that it was a bad thing, that they didn't have the stress. And, I mean, I've seen you pace.
Yeah, you're only 30 and you look like that.
So true. So
Join Dave Weekly and Coop weekdays for Hotline on Metro News Television.
From West Virginia's capital city with news from across the state. This is Metro News Midday, presented by Salango Law with 13 News and Tonight Live anchor Amanda Barron and Metro News' Dave Allen.
Welcome into the 2 o'clock hour, Metro News Midday, powered by Salango Law. Visit salangolaw.com. Dave Allen with you till 3 o'clock. Stephanie Pauly, Ryan Nicholson, our producers today. Open line, West Virginia. Coming up at the bottom of the hour, 1-800-765-TALK or text 304-TALK. 304. Let's talk some sports now with your Weekend Sports Blitz with Daniel Woods. It's Metro News Midday.
Metro News Midday is presented by Salango Law. SalangoLaw.com. Join in by calling 800-765-8255 or text 304-TALK-304. Let's go live to downtown Charleston. Here's Dave Allen.
Welcome into a Friday edition of Metro News Midday, powered by Salango Law. Visit salangolaw.com. We'll get to Open Line West Virginia coming up at the bottom of the hour. 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK-304. That is your time to vent, to call me, text me, whatever's going on in your world. And, you know, here's the thing. It's Friday. I don't know what it's like where you are, but it's absolutely beautiful outside. I mean, so they tell me. Before the show, I did walk outside, did my Mountaineer, not quite a mile, not even close to it, around the parking lot out there, and felt better about myself after I had it. And so if you want to humor me on Open Line West Virginia and give me something some good news, that would be fine. Something good going on in your neighborhood. I'm just saying, just throwing it out there. Metro News Midday, heard all over the great state of West Virginia. Great radio stations like WJLS in Beckley, our flagship in Charleston, WCHS, WKMZ Clarksburg, WD&E in Elkins, WKLP Kaiser, WVW Logan, WEPM Martinsburg, WAJR Morgantown, WSLW in White Sulphur Springs, and WKKX and WVLY in Wheeling. Welcome into the show now for our Weekend Sports Blitz, getting you ready for Weekend in Sports. That's why we call it that. It's Daniel Woods. How you doing, man?
I am just fine. How are you?
We and I were having a great discussion off air, and it involved food products.
It did.
It did. And so now I want some of the food products.
I might just go consume some food products when I get out of here.
Well, that should tell you what we were talking about off the air. All right, let's talk a little football, shall we?
Let's talk a little football.
Gold and Blue Spring Festival is happening tomorrow in Morgantown, and they start early, speaking of consuming things, at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning.
Yeah, that's when things open up. WVU has kind of shifted away from the traditional spring game where it's
pretty much everybody,
which everybody really has, where it's, hey, show up at this time. There's going to be 22 guys on the field. They're going to play for 60 minutes, and this is what we're going to do. So WVU has added a ton of festivities. They have what they call the Almost Heaven Village, which is something that they have for the spring game and for every home game, where it's your typical kind of family fun zone kind of thing. There's food, there's inflatables, there's typically some kind of music that goes with it. That's going to go on all morning. The spring festival per se inside the stadium gets started at noon. As we were saying off the air, it's going to resemble football. There has not been a clear demarcation of exactly what is going to happen. And we've gotten to the point, as we already said, where teams, one, don't necessarily do the full scrimmage thing anymore because they don't want to put anything more on tape than they have to for the teams they're going to play in the fall. And two, this is still technically the last practice of the spring for all of these teams. These coaches want to get work in. So there's going to be guys doing drills. There's going to be other competitions. And then there is going to be a live scrimmage period for WVU. And then close it all out with a concert from country music recording artist Jake Owen inside the stadium, which the folks on the text line can correct me if I'm wrong. But it's, I think, the second non-national anthem performance in that stadium, with the first being John Denver when they opened the place.
In 1980.
In 1980.
Yeah. And then after that, a little baseball over at the Kenrick family ballpark with the Mountaineers taking on Houston, the nationally ranked Mountaineers.
Yes, nationally ranked Mountaineers, number 15 in the country this week. That Houston team is been up and down this year. If the season ended today, they would not be an NCAA tournament team. But West Virginia has really kind of bounced back well from that UCF series at home a couple of weeks ago. That team spent more than a week on the West Coast for that Arizona State series, followed by the game against Arizona. Maybe not more than a week, about a week on the West Coast, and then has to come back, play UCF, who is a nationally ranked team. And they were sick in the process. There was a bug going through the team. They dropped 2 out of 3 there, but then they turn around. They beat Marshall last week. They take 2 out of 3 over the weekend with Texas Tech, and then they beat Penn State on Wednesday. So WVU is at a point now where they've got a lot of momentum. This is a Houston team that is, frankly, ripe for the taking at this point. If you're WVU, you definitely want to win the series. You would really help yourself out in the conference standings if you can sweep.
I think we had 3 guys sighting in Hagerstown when
we did
when WVU played Penn State a few days ago.
That was really cool, and I will say this as somebody that spent a year and a half in Martinsburg, which for the people that aren't the geography buffs out there, that's about depending on your traffic on I-81, which people who have driven I-81 know, I-81 traffic means something. That's probably a 30 to 40-minute drive from Martinsburg, and I was there the night they opened that ballpark in 2024. Meredith Park is an awesome place to see a game, and WVU and Penn State, mostly WVU, set the attendance record, 4,748, something like that. Somewhere over 4,700 people packed into that joint, and I will tell you, 4,700 people fills that place about as well as you can.
I want to get back to the spring festival, as it were. Anytime that you think that spring football, no matter what it looks like, is not huge, all you got to do is visit any of the sports channels. If you get some of the upper tier sports channels, or you subscribe to them or stream them or whatever you do, I mean, every channel just about has got somebody's spring game, spring event, whatever. And I think it has to do with, number one, how big college football is. I mean, it's still, with all due respect to the NCAA, and we just came off the Final Four a couple of weeks ago, college football, I think, still rules everything, and probably will for some time. And also it's the psychological thing of, we haven't had any football since the Super Bowl, in effect, and people want to start talking about football and get all excited about. I know they had a great crowd last weekend at the Joan for Marshall's spring game. people just love these spring contests.
There are guys in pads and jerseys between lines on a field, and that is enough for a lot of people. I missed the Marshall spring game last week because I had the West Virginia State spring game out in Institute, which was a ton of fun. And the thing that's interesting, and this is something I saw at West Virginia State, it's something that Rich Rodriguez has said you're going to see at WVU this weekend. These aren't complete products with these teams because there is not that second transfer portal window over the summer into the fall anymore. But these are still programs that bring in a decent number of freshmen in the fall. So WVU's down, I think, 12, 13 guys that will be here in the fall. And obviously a true freshman that comes in the fall, there's going to be a learning curve. Maybe those guys aren't going to get on the field right away. But this is still not a finished product for these teams, which I think is always interesting. And Rich Rodriguez said earlier this week as well that, sure, this is the end of spring, but this is not the end of us evaluating these guys. I mean, they're going to be in the weight room all summer. They're going to have fall camp. He said they're going to get out on the field Saturday. Coaches are going to go back Sunday, watch the tape, see what guys did well, see what they didn't, bring them in Monday, and kind of talk to the guys about where they stand now headed towards the fall and going through those summer workouts. So it is a milestone of the season, but it is by no means kind of a hard stopping point for college football.
Those are the 2-3 players, I mean, that's on your radar that you're looking at for the spring festival and the game,
Sure.
Air quotes here. Who are the 2 or 3 players that you are specifically going to be looking at tomorrow?
Well, the quarterback position is the one that everybody goes to, and WVU doesn't really have a clear picture there right now. You've got Scotty Fox, who was your leading passer a year ago as a true freshman, got a handful of starts, and is being given the opportunity to keep that job. He was your starter at the end of the year, but a lot of that had to do with injury. He's mixed in there with Michael Hawkins, who's a transfer from Oklahoma. Great fit for Rich Rodriguez and what he wants to do. Great runner, saw some experience at Oklahoma early in his career, and then transfers to WVU. Max Brown, who was on the team last year, dealt with some injuries, has played at Florida, and Charlotte is in the mix there as well. Maybe not going to get as clear a picture with that quarterback situation tomorrow as many would like. Scotty Fox, they said earlier this week, is dealing with a hamstring injury, so he's going to be limited for the spring competition tomorrow. That's number one. Number two, running back. WVU struggled to run the football last year. A lot of that had to do with the offensive line. But you've added the nation's leading rusher last year in Cam Cook, who was at Jacksonville State, to this backfield. It's almost a completely new running back position for WVU. They've turned the room over almost completely. So Cam Cook's the guy you expect to get the football and get the football a lot for West Virginia. And then to look at the defense, I'm really interested to see what Jameer Latimer does in the secondary as a transfer from Wisconsin. His brother Amari is another one of those new running backs for WVU. He's a 4-star freshman that they got out of the state of Georgia. But Jameer Latimer, his older brother, transfers to WVU from Wisconsin, played for Rich Rodriguez at Jacksonville State, then went to Wisconsin, played a couple different roles, never really settled into one spot at Wisconsin. And one of the reasons he said he came to WVU is because he's going to have a defined role. He's going to be WVU's nickelback most of the time this year, which I think is a really good fit for him. He could end up being one of the breakout guys on that defense.
We'll certainly be watching everything tomorrow. Again, the parking lots of the schedule is as follows. Parking lots open at 8. And then the activities will continue throughout the day. I was talking to Brad Howe earlier. People are excited about this gear sale that they're going to be doing at 9:30 tomorrow
Gear
morning.
sale, I'm going to be honest with you. Gear sale almost got me to drive to Morgantown tomorrow because if for the folks out there that haven't participated in the gear sale, been a part of the gear sale, this is basically the West Virginia University Athletic Department overstock sale or the surplus supply sale, so to speak. So they're going to let everybody in through, I believe, the North Gate, and you can find the inventory list online. There's game-worn football jerseys, game-worn baseball jerseys, team sweats, basketball shoes, just about anything that you could think of that they would have on hand for the athletic department, except maybe some game-worn items, you can get your hands on at the gear sale. I have visited before and walked out with a lighter wallet, I will tell you that. As someone, and that is not like, yes, that is, I'm a WVU alum kind of thing, but at the same time, that is, I am someone who is kind of a collectible acquire. I'm a memorabilia guy, which is why I go to stuff like that.
And the game itself will begin at noon. Activities for the family throughout the day. Then the Jake Owen concert is at 2:30. And then after that, over at the Kendrick Family Ballpark, it's the Mountaineers and Houston playing a little baseball to wrap it up tomorrow. Speaking of baseball, I do want to mention this. Here in Charleston, our baseball team, the Charleston Dirty Birds, they opened their season Tuesday night over at Go-Mart Ballpark. But tomorrow, they're doing a home run derby. And this was something that they had, and I actually interviewed the owner of the Dirty Birds, Andy Shea, on the local show here in Charleston today. And this is something that they did last year. And, of course, opportunity to get your season tickets, things of that nature, and lots of great stuff for the family. That's going to be about 5 o'clock, weather permitting, because we're expecting some stormy weather. Hopefully it'll hit later. And so I think that's kind of a cool event tomorrow. They're doing something a little different this year. You know, you think about a home run derby, and you think about, obviously, home runs and things. They're doing a bunt competition. This
I
year.
have seen these before.
Yeah, and somebody asked on the show, because I had Zach Harold from Festival on the show today too, and he said, "How do you do a bunt competition?" It's all about accuracy.
Yes,
that's how they measure it. Accuracy.
This has been a thing for a while in Japan. In the NPB in Japan, they do it at the All-Star game, and there's like big targets out on the field. And I'm assuming this is how they're going to do it tomorrow. I'm not trying to put words in Andy Shea's mouth, but there's big targets out on the field, and guys lay down the bunt, and they get a certain amount of points depending on how close to the bullseye of the target they get.
Yeah, so it's going to be
incredible.
And bunting is kind of a lost art in the world of baseball.
Yes,
it's not certainly not what it used to be. Also, I do want to mention, if you were listening to Hotline earlier this week, the guys interviewed Chris Sabo, former great Cincinnati Red. He's going to be in the Charleston area tomorrow in Nitro for the Nitro Little League for the beginning of their season. Is going to be the Grand Marshal of the Nitro Parade tomorrow. Then he's going to do some autograph signings. It's great to have Mr. Sabo back in this area tomorrow.
Yeah, it's going to be really exciting. They do it up big in Nitro for Little League. They do it up big.
Yeah.
I will give them that.
Let's talk about Major League Baseball. My Cincinnati Reds almost completed the sweep, but they lost yesterday. They're on the road against Minnesota. It was nice to, pick up the paper and see that the Reds were in first place in the division alphabetically, because they had the same record as a team from Pittsburgh.
That is right.
But it was kind of cool to see the Reds. The Reds are kind of. Stop me if you've heard this before. The Reds have been a little confusing, this year.
That's understandable.
They've won some games, obviously, but kind of hard to figure sometimes. What about your I know you're a Pirates guy.
I am. This is one of the best starts, frankly, for the Pirates in my 25 years of walking this earth. And they are tied with Cincinnati for first place in the division now, going into their 20th game of the season tonight. So. Pirates to this point, offense has been better than expected. They invested in that lineup in the offseason, and it has paid off. Brandon Lau has been very good. Ryan O'Hearn has been very good. Marcell Ozuna is starting to come around with the bat. Pitching staff has largely been as advertised. Paul Skeens started the season on opening day with the worst start of his career. Didn't get out of the first inning. He's been the weak link of that rotation statistically.
If that tells you anything.
To this point, if that tells you anything about the Pirates, Mitch Keller has had one of the best starts of his career. Bubba Chandler's figuring things out as a rookie who's got a chance to be an absolute phenom. And Carmen Mlodzinski has settled in very well back in a starting role for the Pirates. So I am not guaranteeing anything because, like I said, 25 years of being a Pittsburgh Pirate fan has not treated me well, but it's nice to see a little success early on.
Well, it's interesting. I guess because we tend to be more loyal as people that do this for a living in this kind of business, but, you and Weekly are big Pirates fans. Coop, Jeff Jenkins, myself, producer Stephanie, we're all hardcore Reds fans. Amanda is a hardcore Cleveland Browns fan because she's from Cleveland.
Sure.
I mean, we have a tendency to not always have the best choice in teams, but by gosh, we're loyal to them.
We are. And, I tell people this story about the Pirates because it's other than WVU, it's the first team that my dad really introduced me to. And it was, I tell people all the time, when I was a kid, my dad was a school teacher. He would come home from school, get home 3:30, 4 o'clock, do a couple things around the house. We'd sit down, we'd have dinner, 5:30, 7:05. That TV goes on. The Pittsburgh Pirates are on, and that's just what my dad did. And he would fall asleep in the chair by the 6th inning. He'd probably wake back up for the 9th, and they'd be losing 8-2. But that's something that is special to me, and that's something that my dad, growing up out in the holler on the Kingwood Pike outside of Morgantown, he got that going over across the homestead out there to his grandfather's house and listening to Bob Prince on the radio doing Pirate games in the 60s. So that's part of it for me. It's like, and I think you get that in all sports, but I think there's more stories like that in baseball in particular, where it's a generation to generation thing, and that's what it is for me.
It started with me listening to the Reds on radio with my grandfather in the garage, listening to Marty and Joe in the mid-1970s with the Big Red Machine, and, they had some great teams there, and then they sucked later on, I mean, they did, but it was a thing every evening or sometimes a daytime game. My grandpa and I would go out to the garage. He would fix something that didn't need to be fixed, just so he could be out there and listen to the Reds. All right, NASCAR this weekend. They were at Bristol last weekend, and Kansas?
They are at Kansas this weekend, and Tyler Reddick is still leading the way pretty substantially, at least in terms of the points race. He's won 4 of the 8 starts so far. That'll get you out to a pretty good advantage. He's got 5 top 5s to start, so he's up 62 points over second place. Ryan Blaney, always a West Virginia connection, nephew of WVU basketball legend Dale Blaney, is Ryan Blaney, and of course that whole family is Ohio racing legends. Dale Blaney could have played for the Lakers, but he decided to come back to Ohio and run the tracks. So at Kansas this Sunday, Tyler Reddick going to go for his 5th win in 9 starts.
All right. Daniel, we appreciate you being here. Thanks a lot, my friend.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. It's 2:24. We'll take a break and come back after this.
Looking to advance your career without putting life on hold? Earn your MBA from Glenville State University in as little as 18 months. Choose from in-demand concentrations like artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, and healthcare administration. Whether you're leading teams, analyzing data, or protecting digital systems, our programs are designed for working professionals who want flexibility and results. Take the next step with an MBA from Glenville State University. Learn more and apply today at glenville.edu.
We'll be right back. This is Metro News Midday. Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
Patients who have allergies and sinusitis, they have worse quality of life on many levels. At the WVU Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center, we provide all the most recent technology in office procedures to help patients who cannot breathe through their nose. Patients come in, within half an hour they can leave. Whatever problem with the sinus and allergy you're having, we can help you get the right treatment.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off, or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
Looking for a show that talks about everything? You found it.
By the way, I'm really happy to talk about this as opposed to Ryan's opinion that being a sports fan is a bad thing.
He said that it kept him from being stressed about it, not that it was a bad thing. They didn't have the stress. And, I mean, I've seen you pace.
Yeah, you're only 30 and you look like that.
So true.
Join Dave Weekly and Coop weekdays for Hotline on Metro News Television.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. Take your pick from our massive selection. Now up to $5,500 off select new Acadias and 3.9% for 60 months. The great deals continue with our large selection of quality pre-owned vehicles. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
Welcome back to the show. We are approaching 2:30, and after the bottom of the hour news break, we'll come back with Open Line West Virginia. What's on your mind? West Virginia, 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK 304. And as always, I very rarely ever set any parameters on Open Line West Virginia. It's whatever you want to talk about. But I did throw this out there because, as I said, don't know what it's like where you are, but here in the Kanawha Valley, it's an absolutely beautiful, beautiful spring, almost summer-like day. So how about a little good news today? I'll read whatever you send. I'll take your phone call no matter what. But whatever, give us a little bit of good news today. What's good? What's good? We'll be back after this. Stay with us.
If it matters in West Virginia, it's being talked about here.
I always said I was going to move to a mountain in Tucker County, but probably going to put a data center on it. So I got to find a new plan.
Oh, you did not.
Oh, I did. Told you I was a little grumpy today.
Oh, man, you got some zingers today, Dave. I love it.
Join Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows Monday through Friday for Talk Line. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at WVMetroNewsTV.com.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Half Off Fridays. Save big from local businesses across the state. Click the Half Off Fridays button at WVMetroNews.com.
Well, welcome in. Get you a forecast update on a Friday, diving into a weekend. We're missing the storms today. Maybe a few isolated, very brief showers, but little to no rain today. Tomorrow, our strong cold front comes in and runs into our very warm and humid air mass we've been having all this week. So find your spot on the map. There is going to be some risks of severe thunderstorms later in the day, Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening coming in from the west. We have a marginal to slight risk of severe weather. That means isolated to scattered severe storms are possible later tomorrow, primarily for a risk of damaging winds with storms, but some large hail and a brief tornado potential in some far northern areas of West Virginia is possible tomorrow. Your Fly CRW forecast, it starts at home. Still watching for chances of showers and storms in some locations here too, like Chicago. 90 in Atlanta, potentially record high there. Tampa, 90 today, 91 tomorrow, potentially record high there. From Panhandle to Panhandle, we're still warmer than average, likely not reaching records for today, but still well warmer than average, mid-70s to low 80s. Spot or two may approach a daily warm record low again tonight, like we did the last night or few nights in some areas. Yesterday in Martinsburg, you hit a high 92, daily record high there yesterday, today 81, so not as hot, but still well warmer than average today. 57 overnight tonight, likely dry and well warmer than average yet for those lows. Central areas, mid-70s to low 80s today. We'll watch for a risk of thunderstorms tomorrow, mid to upper 50s to some low 60s tonight with some fair skies and warm highs mid-70s to mid-80s in southern areas for today. Mid-50s to low 60s tonight. Charleston, 84 today, 87 tomorrow. Rain and storms likely Saturday afternoon, Saturday night. Then cooler temps for Sunday with showers likely. 59 on Monday, lows in the mid-30s. Warmer next week.
With Metro News Hotline, if it's trending, it's probably here.
And then the other thing, his last name is one of those weird Norwegian names where they have two vowels that slam into each other. It's like the A and the E are like cemented into each other.
You're like the 12th Dave that works here. What do you think people from Norwegian think about that?
That is fair.
Join Dave weekly and Coop weekdays for Hotline on Metro News Television.
On the next State of Minds.
When something like punk rock comes around, it's very anti everything, and people were really looking down on what they were brought up with. And for us, we found it was kind of fun to embrace it.
Is it a moment or like they're having an episode?
No, but you're right. You're right. We are having a moment. Yeah.
Together. Are you looking for more? Then we are looking for you. Join us at peacecorps.gov.
This is Metro News Midday, presented by Salango Law. SalangoLaw.com.
Welcome back to the show. 26 away from 3 o'clock. It's Metro News Midday. Sponsored by Salango Law. Visit SalangoLaw.com. Stephanie Pauly and Ryan Nicholson, our producers today. Dave Allen in the host chair. Open line West Virginia, 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK 304. And I do want to throw this out there. We started doing this show March 24th of last year. And it was something that was totally different to the network, something totally different, a statewide news show with a lot of other stuff thrown in there as well. Myself and 13 News and Tonight Live anchor Amanda Barron. It's been a labor of love doing this show. And it's ended. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm just gave the people on the other side of the booth a heart attack. No, I'm kidding. We're going to stick around for a long time. But I do want to say, I want to give a big shout out to the folks at Salango Law, because from day one, when we started even developing this show, I had a conversation with them, and I just told them what we're doing, and they said, hey, would be very interested in that. We'd possibly like to sponsor that. So I was like, I'm okay. So I have to come back to the sales weasels and say, okay, well, if we do this thing, like we're talking about doing it, the folks at Salango Law Firm would like to sponsor it. We had to figure it out. We didn't, again, when you don't have a package, the sales weasels are very good at selling, but when we don't really have a package together yet, we're like, well, we don't know how to do this yet, so we'll get back with you. And the folks at Salango Law jumped on from day one and been a sponsor, and they continue to sponsor us. And I just want to give a big shout, not only our show, but they do stuff on Hotline as well, so I want to make sure that we give them props for taking a chance on us, and we've doing a lot more with them in the future. So I just want to say a big thanks. Big thanks to the folks at Salango Law. Appreciate it. 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK 304. Want to invite you to step into the night where music meets magic with the West Virginia Symphony Orchestra. Master illusionist Michael Grananetti takes the stage, performing mind-bending feats alongside enchanting symphonic selections. It's guest conducted by Alyssa Wang. Don't miss 2 incredible performances. Saturday, it's tomorrow night, 7:30 at the Clay Center for the Arts and Sciences here in Charleston. And then Sunday at 2:30 at Blennerhassett School in Parkersburg. Experience the impossible. Get your tickets now at wvsymphony.org. Says the texter. Says the host. Says Dave. Text says, on the looks around West Virginia, everywhere doesn't look the same, but it all looks like West Virginia. Well, I don't know about that. I mean, I've had the last 10, 11 years of my life through various ventures that I have done to be able to travel this state from one end to the other. And I had been a lot of places in West Virginia, but I did some other things, working in state government that took me all over the state of West Virginia, and owning my own PR firm, and it took me all over the state of West Virginia as well. Plus, I did the Leadership West Virginia program back in 2015, which really took me all over the state, and did some various PR work for different companies and so on and so forth. And I tell you, West Virginia is a beautiful state, and I absolutely love it. I've said this about West Virginia. West Virginia can be a very diverse state. And when you say that, people automatically think that you mean from a racial standpoint or from a religious standpoint or from an economic. What I mean by that is, to be West Virginia, you could not get any more different than the Eastern Panhandle to Southern West Virginia. Not saying one's better or worse. I'm just saying they're both great, but you couldn't get any more different. They seemingly have very little in common. I mean, from a geography standpoint, socioeconomic, so on. It just, but it all works in the state of West Virginia. So I understand what the texter's saying, but I don't know. I mean, there's a whole lot of difference between, let's say, downtown Huntington and pick a city, downtown Matewan. Okay, I'm just saying there's a whole lot of difference. And one of the things I love about West Virginia, you could be in downtown Huntington, you could be in downtown Charleston, Morgantown, whatever the case is, and 15 minutes, if not that, you're out in rural America again. That's one of the things I love about this state. But I do love West Virginia. 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK-304. Text says, Trump says the Strait of Hormuz is closed. Iran says it's open. Or vice versa. I can't keep up with it, says the texter. As someone who is a true blue American patriot, it pains me to say this, but as of late, I would have a tendency to believe Iran more than I do Donald Trump. They have a better track record with the truth, says a texter. Text says, great to hear Jeff Kessler on the air this morning. He's a common sense person and the kind of person we need in D.C., says the texter. Text says, Attorney General J.B. McCuskey is the kind of guy you'd want to have a beer or six with. No pickle beer, though. I'll have to let Attorney General J.B. McCuskey know what you said about that. But the pickle beer, that goes back to one of his in or outs the other day. Not J.B. McCuskey, but weekly about pickle beer. Text says, as someone in Morgantown who likes to make fun of Charleston, I have to ask what the blank is going on with you people down there. Shootings, high-speed chases, people crashing police barricades, etc. Must be something with those old chemical plants. I tell you, in Charleston, the last couple of days, there has been no shortage of news, for sure. And not all of it good. I mean, crime-related and so on and so forth. There's been a whole lot. Whole lot to report. Stephanie tells us again, as we reported earlier, Iran has reopened the Strait of Hormuz, but Trump says blockade on Iranian ships and ports will stay in force. So again, we don't know what we don't know. I did see some information there during the break, if I could find it here real quick. And this was the things that President Trump was asking for. The headline was Trump celebrates as Iran reopens strait. Trump says Iran has agreed to allow the retrieval of enriched uranium, permanently reopen the Strait of Hormuz, to remove sea mines with U.S. assistance, and that's the things that the president says Iran has agreed to. There has been no comment on any of those from Iran as of about 15 minutes ago. 19 minutes away from 3 o'clock, it is Open Line West Virginia. 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK-304. I gave you an assignment on Open Line West Virginia. I just want to hear some good news. I'll read anything you send me. I'll take any phone call, but I would love to hear some really, really good news today. I don't know. Just the way I'm feeling. It's sunny here in the Kanawha Valley. Weather absolutely beautiful, probably where you are as well, what meteorologist Brian Hughes tells us. So just tell me something good today, all right? Text says, Dave, are you glowing yet? I'm watching on Metro News TV. I don't see any difference. You do need to lose the Marshall shirt, though. Just kidding. Love the show. Thoughts and prayers on your recovery, Dave. I appreciate it. Yeah, I mentioned to the folks yesterday I did have my first cancer treatment yesterday, radiation therapy. And no, my running joke has been I would be glowing. I'm going to shut the lights off and, like a human light bright or something like that. Nothing's happened as of yet, not burst into flames or anything like that. So I got a few more treatments to go. But so far, so good. And I do appreciate the text. 18 minutes away from 3 o'clock. It's Open Line West Virginia. 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK-304. We'll take a break and come back after this.
A degree from Marshall University isn't simply a career path. It's a trust, an opportunity to inhabit the moments that change lives, to make connections that make a difference. With the opportunities of a larger school and the intimate nature usually reserved for one much smaller, you'll find your people, your passion, and yourself at Marshall, all while experiencing the moments that will shape the rest of your life. In person, online, or a mixture of both, join us today. Your moment awaits at Marshall University.
We'll be right back. This is Metro News Midday. Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your app store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Patients who have allergies and sinusitis, they have worse quality of life on many levels. At the WVU Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center, we provide all the most recent technology in office procedures to help patients who cannot breathe through their nose. Patients come in, within half an hour they can leave. Whatever problem with the sinus and allergy you're having, we can help you get the right treatment.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
If it matters in West Virginia, it's being talked about here.
I always said I was going to move to a mountain in Tucker County, but probably going to put a data center on it, so I got to find a new plan.
Oh, you did not.
Oh, I did. Told you I was a little grumpy today.
Oh, man, you got some zingers today, Dave. I love it.
Join Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows Monday through Friday for Talk Line. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at WVMetroNewsTV.com.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Justice.org.
Welcome back to the show. 13 minutes away from 3 o'clock on a Friday afternoon. Metro News Midday powered by Salango Law. Visit salangolaw.com. Dave Allen with you. Ryan Nicholson, Stephanie Pauly on the other side of the glass. 1-800-765-TALK. That's the phone number. Text 304-TALK-304. If you've got a child who's a junior in high school in West Virginia or know someone that does, this message for you. Opportunity to win a full ride scholarship to West Virginia Wesleyan. Room, board, tuition, and fees all included. 19th Annual West Virginia Scholar Program presented by ZMM Architects and Engineers and the West Virginia Farm Bureau. Deadline May 3rd. Full details available at WVMetroNews.com. That's where you go to apply. Just hit that Apply Now button. WVMetroNews.com. And again, the application deadline is May 3rd. I do have to tell you a funny story before I get back to the text line here. So yesterday, I told you I started these cancer treatments. And so my best friend since 7th grade, literally, Kathy and I met in 7th grade at the now long since gone Logan East Junior High School. It's no more. They combined three actually junior highs and made them into one middle school. But that's where we went, and we met in the 7th grade, 1982, and she and I have been best friends ever since, to the point that I was in her wedding as basically a male bridesmaid. That's a true story. She said, I want my best friend there with me, and so I came out there with the bridesmaids at her wedding. But she has relocated since then. She lives in Carmel, Indiana, and so she herself has had cancer in the past, and so she made a T-shirt that said Team Dave, and she works at Indiana University's campus in Indianapolis. And so she made this T-shirt with a hashtag Team Dave, and she texted me a picture of it yesterday that she was going to wear it to work yesterday. And so I posted it on social media. It said something like, when your best friend since 1982 has your back, even though she's 500 miles away. And I had people reaching out to me wanting to buy these shirts. I mean, literally. They were saying, how much for them? I need a size, fill in name here, or whatever. And so I went on last night. This was on my personal page. I went on last night and said, just for the record, there are no Team Dave shirts, okay? I'm not doing that, and that was just something that my friend Kathy did, as a nice gesture, not selling them. And I suggest that if you wanted to purchase one, I would suggest that you just make a donation to a local charity, in my name, or do whatever you want. I don't care. But I'm not out there selling shirts. Okay. I'm not, I'm not in that business. But I do appreciate the thought. And I started thinking I can actually make some money on it, but no, not going that route. I am the ultimate salesman, ABS, always be selling, but not quite ready to go there yet. 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK 304. Text says Attorney General, I think I already read that one. I apologize. Text, Trump seems to drop all his most special BS on the weekends on his website. That's social media, True Social. Can't wait to see what this Sunday brings. Text says West Virginia is very diverse. Example, the northern half of the state uses stick pepperoni, and the southern part uses sliced pepperoni. Another example, southern half puts coleslaw on their hot dogs, and the northern part does not. But what brings West Virginians together is their love for long, round meats, says a texter. Text says, really wish Omni would get this deal done with justice and take the Greenbrier. Well, you might get it. West Virginia, says the texter, made a big mistake by not electing Ben Salango for governor when they had the chance, says the texter. Text says, so we're supposed to get all excited about WVU during the spring, only to have them let us down in the fall. No thanks. Well, that's not spoken in the true word of a true fan right there, in my opinion. They say hope springs eternal. Nothing like the excitement of a spring, air quotes, you're seeing it on Metro News Television now, game. I get that. Marshall did the same thing last week. I know that some of the other colleges, Daniel talked about West Virginia State doing it last week. But it's still football. Like he said, there's still an offense, a defense, and a special team, and there's a ball between the offense and defense. It's still football. Text says, I love the way that Iran is totally unwilling to address the U.S. They're saying the strait is open thanks to Israel, not the U.S. Again, Trump getting played and embarrassed on the international stage. Are we winning yet? Says a texter. 1-800-765-TALK. Text 304-TALK 304. To the person, says a texter, disrespecting Charleston in favor of Morgantown. I was in Morgantown last week, and you couldn't pay me enough to live in that hellhole. Charlie West is where it's at. Well, now we've got a war going between Charleston and Morgantown. That's what we like. That's what we like. Text says these Republicans tearing each other apart warms my heart. The blue wave is coming, especially in November. Get ready, baby. I don't know about that. Text says, I do agree with one thing your guest said yesterday. People shouldn't be in Washington until they die. Go about 10 or 15 years and get out, says the texter. Well, as the late Robert Byrd said, we do have term limits. They're called elections. And I have always been one that thought that politics in general shouldn't be a lifetime thing. That's just me. But everybody's different. And that's not a knock on anybody that we have in office right now, because I don't think there's anybody that I know of, certainly not in Congress or on the state level, that's been there for a lifetime, especially in the executive branch or in the constitutional office holders in West Virginia. Here we go. It's what I was waiting on. I just hope everyone has a good weekend. That's all. It's a texture. And with that, we'll leave it there. It's 2:53. Back after this.
We'll be right back. This is Metro News Midday. Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your App Store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Patients who have allergies and sinusitis, they have worse quality of life on many levels. At the WVU Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center, we provide all the most recent technology in office procedures to help patients who cannot breathe through their nose. Patients come in, within half an hour they can leave. Whatever problem with the sinus and allergy you're having, we can help you get the right treatment.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your App Store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
Welcome back to the show. 3 away from the top of the hour. Final couple texts here. Text says, Dave, ramp dinners are here. That's good news. Do you partake of them? On Monday, on the Mayor Monday segment, this past Monday, I talked to the mayor of Richwood, and I guess they're having their big ramp festival this weekend.
Ramp it up.
Ramp it up. Ramps. Ramps, long A. There are 3 A's in there, Ramps. I told the story when I was a kid. My grandparents took me to the Ramp Festival in Richwood, and this was in the days, obviously, well before GPS. You didn't really need it because about 5 miles down the road, you knew you were in the right direction. And they serve them with a variety of things from fried potatoes, so on and so forth. But I'll tell you what I like, and this is Dave Weekly, by the way. He does a radio show here on many of these same stations.
Hi, folks.
The thing that I like more than Ramp dinners are Ramp burgers. And there's a couple of places in West Virginia to get them. Our friends at Ridgeview Barbecue do a Ramp burger. I'm all about Ramp burgers.
I'm learning stuff in this little segment.
Yeah.
You know what? I've never had one of those. That sounds actually pretty good.
All right, folks at Ridgeview, you're on the clock. Free advertising here if you'll send Dave Weekly a Ramp burger.
Bring it on.
All right, they're good stuff. Text says, when I get sick of Morgantown, I go to Charleston and vice versa. Trying to get a little thing going, somebody trashing Charleston and somebody fired back trashing Morgantown. So here we go. Here we go. All right, Mr. Weekly's here. What you got on the big show on many of these same Metro News stations?
Well, we're talking about musical acts.
Okay.
Tomorrow's Record Store Day, so I thought we'd do a music question of the day. Coachella, second weekends this weekend. Weekend Festival starting to fire up. So, living or dead, you're organizing your own concert.
Mm-hmm.
I need 3 headliners.
All right.
Living or dead.
Can I give you mine? It starts
it's
with
your show, dude. Whatever you want to do.
For the next 30 seconds. You start with the greatest band in the history of bands. That's Leonard Skinner. Okay. I'm going to throw probably Bob Seger in there.
Bob Seger.
Yeah,
I didn't see that coming.
Bob Seger for the people. And as for the third, I'd have to really think about the third. There's a lot of different people, Just for the showmanship, let's put Elvis in there.
Why not?
So we got Skinner, Seger, and Elvis.
That's good.
There you go.
That's good.
Hotline coming up on many of these same Metro News stations. I will be back again Monday. Till then, have fun and love somebody.